You tuned in to watch a football match. You saw 3 red cards, a referee staring at a TV screen for 2 minutes, a player sprint off the pitch because someone was holding a stopwatch on him, and another player get banned for covering his mouth. Same sport you remember, completely different rulebook. Here's the thing nobody told you. FIFA changed 6 rules at once before this World Cup started. 6, all at the same time. Here's exactly how it works. Before we get into it, a quick piece of context. Every 4 years, the World Cup arrives and most new viewers assume the rules are the same as last time. They are mostly right. Mostly. Football's rulebook is managed by a body called IFAB, the International Football Association Board. 4 organizations sit around the table. They vote. Occasionally they change things. Usually it is minor. This time, they did not do minor. They overhauled 6 separate areas of the game simultaneously and sent the changes to 48 national team coaches exactly 2 weeks before kickoff. 2 weeks! So if you watched the opening game and felt confused, you were not missing something obvious. You were watching a sport that had quietly rewritten itself without anyone sending you the memo. Here are all 6 changes, in order, with no jargon. Rule 1. VAR now has 3 new powers. Start with the big one. Video Assistant Referee is a system where a separate room of referees watches every incident on camera and can flag a mistake to the referee on the pitch. You have seen this. Referee stops the game, walks to a small screen on the sideline, watches a replay, makes a decision. That part has not changed. What changed is what VAR is now allowed to look at. Before 2026, VAR could only intervene in 4 specific situations: goals, penalties, red cards, and mistaken identity for red cards. Clean categories, very limited. Now, IFAB added 3 more. First, incorrect second yellow cards. In football, 2 yellow cards in a match equal a red card and an automatic sending off. Before this tournament, if a referee gave a second yellow card to the wrong player by mistake, and it happens more than you think, VAR could not step in. The wrong player got expelled. That was it. Tough luck. Now, VAR can correct it. Second, corner kicks awarded in error. A corner is given when the ball goes out of bounds off a defending player. Sometimes the referee guesses wrong. It went off an attacker, but the referee pointed the wrong way. Before 2026, that error stood. Now, VAR can overturn it. Quickly. The rule says only if it can be corrected immediately, without causing a long delay, but it can be corrected. Third, mistaken identity on any card. Not just red cards, yellow cards too. If the referee books the wrong player, VAR can now fix it. This actually happened in the second game of this tournament. A captain received a yellow card for a foul he demonstrably did not commit. VAR reviewed it. The yellow was cancelled. The player who actually fouled received the card instead. 3 new powers. 3 situations that used to result in permanent, uncorrectable errors. Now correctable. Whether you find that reassuring or infuriating depends entirely on your feelings about a camera in a van overruling a referee. Either way, it happens now. Rule 2. The 5-second countdown. This one is elegant and slightly terrifying if you are a goalkeeper. Here is behavior you have definitely seen. A team is winning by 1 goal. There are 12 minutes left. The goalkeeper gets the ball from a back pass. He places it, looks around, picks it up, places it again, looks around some more, takes a very long walk back to his starting position, stares at the sky. Eventually, after roughly the lifespan of a mayfly, he kicks it. This is time wasting. Everyone knows it is time wasting. The referee knows it is time wasting. The goalkeeper knows, the referee knows it is time wasting. Nobody did anything about it. Now they do. If a referee decides a throw-in or goal kick is being deliberately delayed, they initiate a 5-second visual countdown. They literally count it down on their fingers, visibly, in front of the player. If the ball is not played before the countdown hits 0, possession flips to the other team. A goal kick becomes a corner for the opposition. A throw-in gets reversed. 5 seconds sounds generous. It is not, when you have 20,000 people screaming at you and you need to find a target. This rule was trialed in a friendly between Japan and Iceland in 2025. Iceland's goalkeeper failed to restart quickly enough near the end of the game. They conceded directly from the resulting corner. A friendly, with no points at stake, and it still hurt. Rule 3. Injured players must leave the pitch. This one solves a problem so brazen that it is almost impressive it lasted this long. The scene: a team is losing. Their goalkeeper is down with a minor knock. Trainers run onto the pitch with a spray bottle and a concerned expression. Play stops. While the goalkeeper receives his spray bottle treatment, every outfield player jogs to the touchline and has a full tactical conversation with the coaching staff. Hydration, instructions, minor therapy session. Then the goalkeeper stands up, perfectly fine, and the game resumes. This was not accidental. This was a system. Coaches discovered that goalkeeper injuries, real or exaggerated, were essentially free timeouts in a sport that technically has no timeouts. No more. Under the new rule, any outfield player who receives treatment from medical staff on the pitch must leave the field for at least 1 minute once play restarts. They cannot return until that minute is up. Their team plays with 10 players in the meantime. The exceptions are serious. Concussions, collisions, goalkeeper injuries, and severe trauma are all exempt. This rule is not designed to stop players getting genuine medical care. It is designed to stop the slow, theatrical collapse that somehow always happens when a team needs 30 seconds to reorganize. There is a catch, and it is a notable one. Players who break this rule, who walk back on before the minute expires, face no disciplinary punishment. The rule has no enforcement teeth. What it does have is referee discretion and public visibility. Whether that is enough to change behavior remains to be seen. It is new, it is imperfect, it is an improvement. Pick the two that apply. Rule 4. The 10-second substitution. Short one. Clear consequences. When a manager makes a substitution, the outgoing player used to take roughly as long as they felt like to leave the pitch. Slow walk, head down, slightly dramatic. Occasionally, a minor argument with the fourth official about which side of the pitch to exit from. All of this while the game is stopped and the clock is technically running. Now, the player being replaced has 10 seconds to exit the pitch from the nearest point. 10 seconds from the moment the substitution board goes up. That is the window. Miss the window, even by a little, and the replacement player cannot enter until the next stoppage after 1 minute of play has elapsed, which means the team plays with 10 men during that minute. Not as a yellow card, not as a warning, as an automatic consequence. This rule was also trialed in advance. Japan and Iceland again, same friendly, same Iceland concession. Apparently, Iceland had a difficult evening. The logic is sound. Substitutions are strategic. Slow exits are a form of time theft, particularly late in games. 10 seconds is enough time for anyone who is not actively protesting their removal, which brings us neatly to Rule 5. Rule 5. Leaving the pitch in protest is now a red card. This rule exists because of a football final in Africa that ended in something genuinely unprecedented. In January 2026, Morocco played Senegal in the Africa Cup of Nations final. A penalty was awarded against Senegal following a VAR review. Senegal's players disagreed, strongly. They disagreed so strongly that they walked off the pitch entirely, refusing to continue the match. After negotiations, they returned. They then won in extra time. Several months later, IFAB and FIFA overturned the result. Morocco were declared the winners by forfeit. The football world looked at this sequence of events and collectively decided something needed to be added to the rulebook. Now, any player who leaves the pitch to protest a refereeing decision receives an immediate red card. Not a yellow, red, gone. Any team official who tells or encourages players to do so also receives a red card. And if a team causes a match to be abandoned through protest or refusal to play, they forfeit the result automatically. This is not subtle. This is not a warning system. This is football's lawmakers saying loudly and without ambiguity that the integrity of the match is not negotiable, regardless of how strongly you disagree with the referee in that moment. Whether you agree with the call or not, the match continues, every time. That is now the rule. Rule 6. Covering your mouth is now a red card offense. Of all 6 rules, this one requires the most context, because without the context, it genuinely sounds bizarre. Players cover their mouths on a football pitch for one main reason. Camera technology has improved dramatically over the past decade. Lip readers, employed by media organizations and rival teams, can identify what players and coaches are saying in real time. So players cover their mouths when they want a conversation to remain private. Most of the time, this is tactical. A winger telling a fullback where the space is. A captain telling a striker to push higher. Completely harmless. Completely normal. The problem arose earlier this season, during a Champions League match between Real Madrid and Benfica. Vinicius Jr., Real Madrid's Brazilian forward, alleged that a Benfica player approached him, covered his mouth with his shirt, and made a racist comment. Directly to his face, in front of cameras that could not read what was said, because the mouth was covered. The player was suspended. But the incident exposed a loophole. Covering your mouth is not just a tactical tool. It can also be a shield for something much darker, and a camera cannot tell the difference from a distance. The new rule: any player who covers their mouth with their hand, arm, or shirt during a confrontational situation, face to face with an opponent, not a friendly chat with a teammate, receives a red card. Immediately. The distinction matters. Friendly conversation with a covered mouth is still permitted, but the moment the context is confrontational, the red card is automatic. The referee decides what is confrontational, which is, admittedly, a significant amount of judgment to hand to a single person in a loud stadium. Is the rule blunt? Yes. Does it leave room for error? Absolutely. Is the underlying logic that football's biggest stage should have zero tolerance for abuse hidden behind a shirt defensible? The twist. Why all six at once? Here is what most coverage of these rule changes misses. None of them is entirely new. VAR has existed since 2018. Time wasting has been a yellow card offense, in theory, for years. Substitution delays were already supposed to be penalized. Covering your mouth has been uncomfortable since camera technology got sharp enough to matter. Every single one of these 6 rules is a response to something that broke in public, on camera, at a high-profile match, and embarrassed football in front of millions of people. The VAR extensions came after years of howling over uncorrectable refereeing errors. The 5-second countdown came after a decade of goalkeeper theatrics that added 5 to 7 minutes of dead time per game. The substitution rule came after footage of players taking 2-minute walks to the touchline went viral. The protest rule came after an international final ended with teams walking off the pitch. The mouth covering rule came after a racism allegation that FIFA could not prosecute properly because the evidence was literally hidden. 6 problems. 6 solutions, all at once. 1 tournament. That is not coincidence. That is an organization that accumulated enough public embarrassment to finally move on multiple fronts simultaneously. FIFA needed this World Cup, hosted across 3 countries including the United States, a market they desperately want to convert into permanent football fans, to look clean, fast, fair, and modern. Whether 6 rule changes across 104 matches will achieve, that is a separate question entirely, but they tried. Vigorously. Zoom out recap. Here is everything, in 1 paragraph. IFAB gave VR 3 new powers: correcting wrong second yellow cards, fixing incorrectly awarded corners, and identifying mistaken identity on any card. Throw-ins and goal kicks now have a 5-second countdown before possession flips. Injured outfield players must leave the pitch for 1 minute after treatment. Substituted players have 10 seconds to exit or their replacement waits. Leaving the pitch in protest earns an immediate red card. And covering your mouth in a confrontation earns the same. 6 changes, all live, all in effect right now, across every match of this tournament. You are no longer confused by what you are watching. You know exactly what you are watching. The game has not changed. You have. You're welcome! If you enjoyed this type of content, subscribe. It genuinely means a lot.